was teaching digital health at Columbia Business School, which I really loved. And I was continuing to invest and continuing to support Rock Health, but at the same time going through some struggles on my own in my own personal health, which had to do with fertility. And it opened my eyes to the opportunity that there is in the fertility space. And so at first I said, this is going to be, in 2016, I declared, on Twitter, I was like, I'm dedicating, the next few years to this space. I'm going to find companies in this space. There's just ample opportunity to make the fertility experience better, more transparent, more affordable for women. And so I did. I invested in a couple of companies in this space, in fertility and women's health in general, including Kind Body, Everly Well, Tia, and I was able to scratch some of that itch. But one of the things that I noticed was just the physical over-the-counter retail products that were required, and these are technically medical devices, but their consumer really, in my mind, felt more clinical than consumer. And so realizing that I had the courage to build a medical device, I'm not afraid of that, yet had the consumer experience, had the empathy to build a brand around it that is really consumer and millennial friendly. Couldn't get this idea out of my head. And so I actually tried to find companies working on this. I couldn't find any companies working on it. So I started interviewing potential CEOs. And so I had two folks that I had, identified, and I started interviewing, and I was like, I'll fund this. I'll, be on your board. I'll be supportive, and you'll run it. And, both of them were excited about the opportunity, but at the end of the day, I felt like I would have driven them crazy because I had so many ideas and so many opinions about what needed to happen. And so I remember coming home and I told my husband, I'm like, and at this point he was one, we had a 1-year-old at the time. And I had a very cushy setup. I was teaching in the spring, investing on my own terms. I had all the flexibility I needed. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, I can't get this concept out of my head. It needs to exist. And he goes, well, good, because I kind of want to start a company too. And so we both started companies at the same time again, which was, crazy. But yeah, that's kind of how everything got started.